to listen. If you tuned into our show, the earlier part of our show, we pretty much talked briefly about Elle. So we're gonna take the next 25 minutes, and it's just your show. This is all about you. This is about you. I know that you have the blueprint, a 90-day breakthrough to shift your mind and transform your life. But lots of people, because we're putting out the books, but let's talk about who you are, right? Let's talk about who's Elle. I know you briefly said it earlier, but now we're on a different. We got about 20 more minutes. We're in our half-hour segment, and so let's reiterate some of the things that you spoke about earlier. Tell us about who you are.
So, who is Elle? I would like to say that I am an individual who's very passionate about just uplifting, motivating, and empowering others, specifically women, to just kind of develop self-love, and
which is important.
Which is extremely, extremely important, because I myself, before I was where I am today, mentally was very weak and not strong-spirited, easily influenced. Like I said, I came.
You said you were easily influenced earlier.
Yes,
Tell me, why do you feel like you? Because I know you're no longer at that place. You're no longer. That's not a part of your life anymore. But why were you easily influenced then?
I lacked, who was Elle at that time. Okay. I didn't know really what I was passionate about. When I say easy influence, social media, TV. I initially wanted to do modeling, acting. So I would see what's portrayed on social media or what's on TV, and then feeling the need that I need to be a certain size or have a certain look. If I'm around a certain group of people, I felt like I needed to adapt myself to who they were in that setting. And I'm a very kind person, so I guess you could say, like, my morals and values might go out the window because I felt like I wanted to be, like, approved. Approved from the group. And feel like a sense
So you needed some approval from your squad or other people.
Yeah, other people before.
Yeah.
But I think that happens when you don't truly know yourself.
Yeah.
And have self-love, or are strong in your morals and your values and have a strong mindset.
Yeah. Which is really important.
Which is very important.
Because, I mean, right now we're living in a time where people are easily influenced based on what they see on social media. The new artists and new models and things that are coming out, And so it's crazy, and I think it's going to get worse before it gets bad. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree 100%.
You do? You think it's
definitely going to get worse?
Yeah. So how do you take back you're you? How do you take back Elle from being in a place where you were easily influenced?
That's when you really have to take the time to dive deep and dissect you, go on a self-search journey, and that's what I did. And that's what the blueprint is about. It's got building your foundation for your life, for your legacy, and what you ultimately want and desire for whatever dreams that may be. And so, in a way, you have
manifesting.
Manifesting your vision, and you have to be willing to make sacrifices. See who, as I forget the lady who was on the radio just a second ago.
Dr. Venus.
Yes, Dr. Venus. How your circle is so powerful.
It is.
They influence you so much, and so at the time, I was surrounding myself with individuals who may have consumed or indulged in certain areas of a toxic lifestyle, and I was easily just picking that up and living that life. And so it wasn't until I eliminated those toxic people.
So you just got rid of that whole squad.
I just got rid of them.
Now, for some people, it's hard to get rid of people. It's hard to get rid of certain people in your life. What did you do to get rid of the people that you felt like was toxic in your life? I can't talk. We can't be friends no more.
It wasn't. We can't be friends. It's just like you limit your association. Yeah. So if they had an event, I was like, I can't make it.
So you wean your way out.
Yeah, I weaned my way out.
Yeah.
I just weaned my way out. And then in regards to the social media or TV, I stopped watching TV. I deactivated my social media accounts temporarily because I was so consumed. I was nonstop. Maybe I need to do that, or and then I would start feeling bad about myself. because I didn't look that way, or, you know, and
Why
so
are people
forth.
afraid to say that? Why are people so afraid? Because, you know, even on social media, I feel like sometimes I find it difficult for people to be authentic and tell their truth. You know, I feel like we're coming around though. A lot of people are becoming a lot more, or becoming aware of what's going on and what they're doing. But social media really does set the tone for a lot of people, and they cannot unplug at all.
It's almost, I don't want to say an addiction.
No,
but
it's an addiction.
I would say obsession.
Some people are addicted to this
People
Instagram
are
and everything.
obsessed.
Yeah.
And I think there was a study that people I think it's like 56 to 68 times a day. People check constantly, like the minute you wake up, when you're in the bathroom, when you're with your friends, when you're with your family. Like, it's literally nonstop throughout the day. And I think we have lost like real connection.
Yes.
Meaning, let's sit down, let's have a conversation, let's actually get on the phone, let's really break bread and like have the communion as one. And
Well, get off the phone for a second.
just get off the phone.
Sometimes, I mean, even when I'm out with some of my girlfriends, we've done, hey, we're gonna put our phone in the middle of the table. The first person to touch the phone, you got to pay the tip. You know, I mean, just things like that, just so we could really be in the moment. We could be present.
Yes.
Because it's about being present.
It is.
And being present in your life.
Exactly.
That's where. So I give out the tough love, girl power side, and some people think I should be a lot more softer. And I mean, I get it, but I was on a show called Tough Love. Okay, I had no choice but to succeed, and I had to get out here and I had to do it by myself. So when it comes to tough love or being hard, it's about really taking a look into who we are and what we're about and applying that to our daily lives.
Exactly.
And we can get easily caught up into everything. I'm not gonna lie, I've been easily caught up into some things before, you know, and so I've had to disconnect, like you said, disconnect and say, hey, listen, even if I couldn't tell you I didn't want to be your friend no more, it was like I'm weaning myself out. Like, girl, you gonna come out with us? Girl, I got so much to do. I gotta take Faith to to get her hair done. They like, your daughter got locks. So I mean, so it's just so many different things that we need to do as a whole. So what are some of those things that you apply that, you know, that are a part of the blueprint?
In regards to eliminating, like,
people, toxic relationships.
There's actually a whole chapter on that.
Can I see?
Yeah.
So there's a whole chapter.
There's a whole chapter, and I believe it's chapter 9 or 10.
9 or 10. Look, I just love taking your book because
go ahead.
Right now we're gonna go online. Kier, can you get my phone? Can we go online and just purchase the book so we can host a giveaway? I love supporting.
Yes.
I am all about girl power. So. Eliminate all distractions.
So this is
starve your distractions, feed your focus. I love that. How do we starve our distractions?
Honestly, you have to. It's about making those sacrifices. So being disciplined. If you have a show, record it. Put it on hold. You don't have to watch it right then in that time, because what happens with the distractions, we then decrease our productivity if we have a goal or if we have something that we want to get done. Next thing you know, 5 hours go by, a day goes by, 2 weeks go by,
and we why it goes fast.
And time goes like that. And we're all given the same exact 24 hours in a day. So it's what are you doing to optimize that time? And so it's really, also within the book, it goes through like kind of setting your game plan and your master routine.
I see. It says in order to truly reach your full potential and your goals, according to your set deadline and target date of achievement, you will need to make great sacrifices, something that you've been reiterating the entire time on the show. Because it's really about just the sacrifice to make it, the sacrifice to survive. Have you ever sat and spoke with someone like a homeless person?
Actually, I have.
What can you give us just a tidbit of that? What that conversation was like to you? Wow.
It's really, I feel like getting emotional because you hear their story, you hear their struggle. And sometimes it's like, you want to say and you think, like, oh, if they can get out, but sometimes it's not by choice. It's really, sometimes they actually made sacrifices that got them where they are. I'm thinking of some of like the veterans that I've seen. Once there was a group of us that we went to feed the homeless, and you'll see veterans out there, but it's some of the things that they've experienced.
It takes their mind.
It takes their mind.
It's hard for them to function.
It's hard for them to function.
And they have made the sacrifices.
And they have made the sacrifices, and then sometimes they get disowned by their own people.
Yeah. On my way to work, where my other job, okay, I have lots of jobs, you guys, but on Pryor Street, there is a homeless shelter gateway there, and sometimes I stop and I talk to some of the guys and the women, and a lot of it was a lack of education, but a lot of it was mental issues. They were dealing with a lot of mental issues, and a lot of the sacrifices they've had to make was that this is the only way they know how to survive. And so, speaking to some of the women and men who've dealt with challenges, because we all deal with challenges as well. Some people are able to get through it and make it out, and some people aren't. And it goes back to, who are we to judge those people? You told me your story, how you moved to Atlanta, didn't have anything, had no friends. You mentioned having to try to connect with people and being introduced to drugs and things like that. And just hearing your story and looking at you now is just so inspiring. I'm truly inspired, because there's some people who stay there. There's some people who cannot get out. And so to the people who feel like they can't get out, what do you say to them?
That you can. You definitely can get out, but it's you having to make that hard choice and being committed to wanting to truly improve and making a statement like, I will get out. I can. I am. And telling yourself that. Like waking up in the morning and telling myself in the mirror, I am beautiful. I will get the X, Y, and Z done. Affirmations, daily affirmations. Every day.
Oh, that's so important. That's so important, Al. I'm just proud of you. I am. Like when I first met you, we were on the panel together. Shout out to my girl, Valencia, with evolvingbeauty.info. Go to her website. That's it, evolvingbeauty.info. And, just hearing your story, I was really touched, because being that we are, still considered millennials, we don't really do a lot of millennial things, right? And then just hearing the fact that how you really just kind of had that breakthrough point and had overcome some of those challenges that, you tried. You could have easily just gave up and went back to where you were from instead of sticking it out and saying, hey, I'm going to get help. Did you go see a therapist?
No, actually I didn't.
So who was your therapist during that time?
My mom.
Really?
Yeah, I talked to my mom. She's actually, there was a time period right before I decided to make, I stayed in the house for like 4 or 5 days, and I was really depressed, and I wanted to actually just end my life, and I just...
Suicidal was high right now, too. Can we get the suicidal hotline number?
And I just, my mom said, oh, you can just come back home. And I said, no, I'm not going to fail. I'm going to succeed. And she prayed over me on the phone.
Power of prayer.
Power of prayer. And she speaks tongues. And so sometimes I would just want her to speak tongues to me.
Yeah.
And I broke down and I cried. And then the next day I just was like, no, I'm getting out of this. It was like a mental thing, mindset. And so I started just taking action, like whatever I needed to do. So my mom was a very played a very big role. And then at the time when I started my journey too, I started dating a new gentleman. He's in my book. I mentioned him briefly, but he was very inspiring. He supported me in who I was, who I am, and who I was becoming, and he pushed me out.
It's so amazing to have a partner who believe in you.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Don't it feel good?
It feels amazing, and I'm so grateful and thankful that God brought him into my life.
Yeah. So how do we purchase the book? How do we purchase the blueprint, the 90-day breakthrough to shift your mind and transform your life?
So the blueprint is available right now live on Amazon. You
Okay.
just type in the blueprint or L. Ross. It is also on my website, and that is thelross.com/shop. You can get the book there on both. And it's available on hard copy as well as on Kindle. But I definitely obviously recommend hard copy because you can dissect and dive in and take it with you. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a workbook at the same time. Apply those dreams, apply those goals.
Yes.
Any upcoming events?
Any upcoming events? Actually, I do have one coming up. It's not till March.
Okay.
Well, there's a few.
Girl, you know these days go by so fast.
Yes, they do. So, in this month, the 24th, I will be hosting a free fitness event at a church called Northview in Alpharetta.
Yeah, I know Northview.
Yes, that will be just to empower women as well as get your workout in.
Yeah,
I call it TNT, tight and toned. Help tighten the tummy and build up and tone that peach.
Okay.
So that's on the 24th. Currently, I'm also possibly doing a live fitness event at Lululemon Perimeter on the 25th.
Nice.
And then I partnered with an app that just came out called Actively. It's if you want to find a fitness partner. They are going to be having a live event. I can't remember the venue, but it's going to be on Tuesday the 26th. No, 26th. It's on that Tuesday. I think it's the 27th.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the calendar in my head. But that will be at 6 p.m. It's downtown. I'll give you more information about that. And then there's a women's empowerment, Black women's health empowerment in Virginia.
Oh, nice.
From March 9th through the 11th.
So it's like a whole weekend.
Yeah. It's a whole weekend, but we're going to go into, there's going to be doctors there, other influencers and speakers. I'll be hosting a couple fitness workouts and then speaking as well.
Nice. I'm so excited for you. Okay, so how do people follow you?
So all of my social media, Instagram, The L Ross, Snapchat, The L Ross, Facebook, it's going to be lross.fit, and Be Fit with L as my business page. But The L Ross, yes, please go check me out. Also subscribe to my website for news, updates, events that are upcoming, and just get empowered.
Right? Get empowered, you guys. Get empowered. Okay, so we were talking briefly about depression. If you're dealing with depression, having suicidal thoughts, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. It's 1-800-273-8255. They are available 24 hours every day. 1-800-273-8255. If you have been joining us live on our Instagram live, we want you to know that Kiara, where's your red at? She got a button up. Okay. Today is National Wear Red Day, all right? We are bringing